In this video, we're going to cover how to replace all the bulbs on your BRZ, FRS, or GT86 with LED ones. Oh, what's that? What's in this bag, you're asking? Oh, well, let me go ahead and tell you. So here is the kit itself. It's going to include 2 Sidemarker bulbs, 2 reverse bulbs, 2 license bulbs, and a dome light. So we'll go ahead and open up the package here. So here you have the reverse lights. You have the Sidemarker kit. Your 31mm dome light. And then lastly, the bulbs for your license plate. So what exactly makes this kit anything different than the really cheap ones you can find on Amazon or eBay or whatever? So on the left here, we have your standard reverse bulb that comes in most of the cheap kits. And then over here is the reverse bulb that comes in my kit. As you can see, this one has a really cheap plastic connector with these really horribly done leads coming out for the connection, which will typically fail pretty easily. I've had a little trouble with these in the past. And as you can see, not too many LEDs on here. I mean, these are pretty bright, but they're, you know, they're usable for sure. These, on the other hand, are much brighter than their counterpart. As you can see, a ton more LEDs to actually distribute the light. And not only that, but you have a much better connector here on the end. This thing is made out of entirely aluminum construction. It even has heat sinks for the LEDs. I mean, come on now. Who needs heat sinks for LEDs? You do. That's who. So comparing this to this bulb, as you can imagine, everything else is similar construction to this compared to this. So not only is it brighter than their counterpart, but also just a much better component as well. So let's go ahead and we'll get started getting the new LEDs put in the car, and we'll go ahead and compare and contrast those to what you would typically get in these little cheap kits. Alrighty, so we're in the car now. The first light we'll cover is the dome light. This one's pretty simple to remove. Go ahead and get you a trim removal tool if you don't have one of those. Just a small little flathead will do. And just kind of stick it in this little slot here. And if you give it a little bit of a twist, it'll kind of pop. Just like that. And just pry that little cover down, and there we go. So currently I have installed what you would normally get in most LED kits. This little 31mm style light. So go ahead and flick this on. There we go. Now you see it's pretty weak, honestly. It might not be a very good accurate representation of the actual light output of the bulb, but I mean, it's usable. It's fairly bright, especially when you don't have that light shining right into it in order to actually see what I'm doing. But we'll go ahead, we'll replace this bulb with the new one and see if you might be able to tell really any difference in between the two. I'm not too sure if you're able to see any difference in the light between the two, but definitely much brighter in here. Even with that big guy shining in here, I can definitely tell a difference. So now to wrap up our dome light installation, we just want to replace our plastic cover here. And you want to put the long tabs or just have the, you'll see this is kind of offset. So you want to have this closer to the windshield, or the bigger tabs in, and just kind of give it a little push. And there you go, your dome light's replaced. So let's go ahead now, we'll move on to the reverse lights and take a look at those. So when it comes to swapping out your reverse lights, it's a very simple procedure. You just really got to reach up under the bumper. I don't know if I'll be able to film it very well, but if you just kind of reach around under here, you'll eventually feel the wire, and then the connector, just kind of give it a twist and it should pull right out. There you go, your bulb's out. So on the left hand side, you have a backup light from a cheap kit, and on the right, our kit. As you can definitely see in this shot, that bulb was much brighter than the other. And you can even see, if we go in the car and take a look at the backup camera that I have, you can actually see, I don't know how well this shows, but you can actually see a spot where the light is actually burning much brighter than the other side. So yeah, definitely a huge upgrade on the reverse lights as well. My sleep schedule's sick. So the next bulb we'll go and replace is the license plate bulb. There's 2 that on the trunk. Basically all you got to do is remove this little panel, again with a trim removal tool or a flathead. You just got to take a couple of these little plastic little clips out, pop those, and you can go ahead and swap out the bulbs. Alrighty, so we got our little retaining plastic little clip things out. So now we're just going to pull this carpet tab down. And then you can see here's where our bulbs are going to go in. So just give this a little quick twist, pull that out, and there you can see the bulb. On the left hand side here, we have the bulb that comes in my kit, and on the right, we have the generic one. So you can see a more brighter white. You can actually see like a little bit of a glow, at least I can on the camera, versus none here. This light is much brighter to see. It even had like a little flicker. It's gone now, but honestly, for a second, I saw this one LED. There it is. Yeah, I hope I caught that. So I just pulled this guy out. A little rusty but trusty, you know what I mean? That probably explains why this one was flickering. If you see too how much light on the left-hand side is protruding down past the plate versus on this side. And honestly, the better lighting on the plate, the better, because you're less likely to get pulled over for something like that. So here's the side marker with the current bulb installed. So to remove the fender liner, there's normally 4 clips. You got one right near the side marker, and then 3 down here. But as you can see, I'm running a little light, but 3 out of 4 is a passing grade, so the next step is probably the most obnoxious one, which is where you remove this clip from. You need to insert the screwdriver into the hole, and then you got to pry this little clip loose, which takes a lot of patience and can be pretty frustrating, honestly. So after a little finagling with the screwdriver there, we finally got the new bulb in. It's on in person, it's honestly a much cleaner white than the other ones. Let me go ahead and actually shut the light off. Boy, she's bright. Yeah, that's definitely a lot brighter than the other ones. Nice. I mean, it's all relative because it's kind of hard to pick up on a camera, honestly, even in lower light situations like what I'm trying to show. But I mean, a lot of this side of the garage is illuminated pretty well. I mean, these are really, really bright. So that's how you would replace the LED lights on your BRZ, FRS, or GT86. We got the side markers, reverse lights, the license plate bulbs, and the dome light replaced. Super simple process. All it requires is just a flathead screwdriver or a small plastic trim removal tool. If you'd like to pick up one of our LED kits, I'll have a link in the description where you can purchase them. And as always, I'd like to thank each and every single one of you for watching. And if you would like to subscribe for more mediocre content such as this, please do and take care.